Rebecca Brand, and I'm so excited. We're making Japchae today from Would You Cook? What is Japchae, you say, Rebecca? Japchae is a sweet and savory dish of stir-fried glass noodles. This is a Korean recipe made with sweet potato starch. Japchae was once a royal dish made with cellophane noodles, which are clear, glassy noodles. They're used in special occasions like weddings and birthdays and big holiday feasts. Would You Cook has made a whole kit, so you don't have to go out and get a lot of extra ingredients. They put all the essentials of Japchae into one kit. And I'm gonna make it for you right now. This is a vegan dish, but I'm adding chicken because I like chicken. If meat is added, it's usually beef. But a lot of people don't eat beef now. I eat more chicken than beef. So chicken it is. Here's what you get in the box of Would You Cook Japchae. All you need. Let's take a look at their beautiful potato starch cellophane noodles. That's what they look like dry. And the Korean word for the sweet potato starch noodles is naengmyeon. Would You Cook gives you the highest quality of naengmyeon. It comes in a plastic package, and with that comes shiitake mushrooms. These are dried. I put them next to the fresh kind so you can see what I'm talking about, what they would look like. But it's so nice they come dried because shiitake mushrooms are expensive and they're hard to find in a grocery store often. They also have a roasted sesame seed they put right in a package. Well, in my kitchen, I often have to roast my own sesame seeds to get that same flavor. And that's kind of a pain because I have to put it in a pan, I have to turn that pan on high, and then I have to roast them for like, I don't know, maybe a minute. Well, it's so great to get the package of fresh roasted sesame seeds ready to go. And they also give you the perfect proportion of sesame oil to put in it. And Would You Cook gives you a lot of the Japchae sauce. In that is a special recipe of garlic, soy sauce, brown sugar, a little bit of black pepper, and all the things to make it really authentic for you. And in the kit come great directions in English. You can follow along. I'm gonna add some other stuff to my Japchae today. I'm adding an onion, carrots, green onions, and the chicken. I keep a lot of chicken in my freezer just for this kind of recipe. I get a whole bag of it really inexpensive at the grocery store that comes already frozen. Today is a thigh with a bone in. It was frozen solid like a rock. So I stuck it in my microwave and I hit the defrost button. And I just put half a pound and it came out still kind of frozen, but that's okay because chicken is easier to slice when it's half frozen. So with 1 cup warm water, I pour in the shiitake mushrooms and I stir them around. And after a couple stirs, my finger's too hot. That's the perfect temperature. Japchae is known to have a little crunch from the vegetables. So I'm gonna julienne these carrots into little sticks, bite size, for a little crunch. And into their lane they go, stay there. And the same thing with some green onions that I'm cutting on the diagonal. Isn't that pretty? In Pan-Pacific cooking, they say if you cut on diagonal, you are keeping the energy of the vegetable in the dish. I love Eastern philosophy. It makes a lot of sense and I feel healthy following those rules. You really only need 3. I think I used a little more. And time for some onion. I've cut it in half and I've peeled it and then I just cut little round circles. These are gonna get a quick stir fry so that they have the sweetness still, but not so much of that hotness. So just like that, and I break them apart a little bit. This was a full small onion. It's a lot, but I like a lot of veggies in my Japchae. And now chicken. And so because I love the flavor of the skin, I'm gonna cut that off and use it, all of it. Gotta dump out that juice though. That didn't look good. Because this fat is gonna be sizzling liquid gold as it renders in a frying pan on high. And while that's cooking, I'm gonna be cutting up my chicken. Because it's half frozen, it's really easy to slice. See that? I'm gonna go around the bone, which is there. You can see by the knob at the top. Flip it and continue on by slicing it up. Look at that. Look how easy that is to slice. See what I'm saying? And when you get to the bone, keep slicing around the bone. I like to get all the meat off. It's like going around the core of an apple. And I'm gonna throw it in with the chicken fat. Why not? Flavor is gonna come out of all this. Don't give me a ticket for that. If you're vegan, you can just use whatever oil you like. You know, olive oil, corn oil, that's fine. Because Would You Cook's kit is vegan. When it starts to smoke, it's time to turn it down and give it a toss. Oh yeah, look at that color of that skin. That smells great. And we're gonna put 2 cups of water, 1 and 2, in a saucepan and turn it on high. And bring it to a boil and then add your noodles. Set your timer for 8 minutes and give them a twirl or a poke because you want them to break up a little bit while they cook. I'm leaving it on high and it's going to break up, and just stir them around. And while that's cooking, we're going to add our onions and our carrots. Swish them around. Dip them in that oil. They love that oil. Oh yeah. And because I've added some of my own vegetables, I'm just going to give them a pinch of salt. And just think about if you're just slightly salting a vegetable on your plate, that's as much salt as you want to give it, 1 pinch. I'm also putting in the whites of the green onions because I don't want these to have that bite to them either. I want them really sweet, so they're going in now. And give that all a stir. That is on medium heat, so it's not going to overcook. It's just going to absorb that beautiful chicken fat that you've rendered because you had it anyways. And while I'm over here, I'm just going to give these a real quick stir. I don't want anything to get burnt, but I do love this brown. Check out Mr. Onion and his friend. It got a little smoky in here, so I opened the door. But the key is you got to leave those vegetables alone because you want some brown on the bottom. And if you hadn't done that, they would have been, too white. So you got to step away from the wreck and let it do its thing. It's been 4 minutes and these are really getting translucent. So for the next 4 minutes, I want to cook the chicken. I got to move Mr. Fatty out of the way. He goes with Mr. Skinny Bone. But the onion and the carrot have to get back in the middle of the brew here. I pile them to one side. I'm using the one pan method. And now I'm going to tip the pan to get more of that grease out of those onions. And I drain the juice from the chicken with a paper towel, and I'm going to shove that chicken right into that hot oil. Sizzle, sizzle, drizzle, drool. Isn't this fun to be in cooking school? So we're going to stir it up. See, it's already brown on that one side. That's what I'm saying. Give it a flip. This is great. It cooks so fast, and it's the perfect timing. Ouch. Well, that often happens in the kitchen. The kitchen is the most dangerous room in the house, And now we're down to the last minute. And while this cooks, now on low, as I flip a little more of the chicken with one hand far away from the heat, this is done. And now it's time to drain the noodles. Give them a swish. They are hot to go. Here are those glassy noodles, and I'm going to pour them in. Oh, yeah. And up the heat to high. And we're going to toss them like a salad in that hot oil so they fry up. And that chicken is going to finish cooking. I don't even worry. I'm going to add a little tiny bit of extra salt on those little chicken pieces. I could have done that earlier. And that's going to cook for 3 to 5 minutes. And I'm getting more of the whiter parts of the green onions, saving these for the top of my dish for garnish. Losing one. Oh well. Okay, Mr. Mushrooms, give them a squeeze. Join the party. I think they're all happy. Time to add the sauces. This is Japchae sauce, and here is the sesame oil. Oh yeah, every drop is going in there. Turn that heat off and give it a swirl. And as I pick it up, I see that some of those noodles got browned, which is what I love. That's why I had it on high. I like a little texture and crispiness to them. The bones and the skin are in the reject pile, but they had their purpose. Time for the transfer. Oh yeah, that smells so good. And I'm topping with the sesame seeds now, all over. And can you believe you made this in a jiffy with the Would You Cook Japchae kit? Isn't that amazing? And look at these noodles. Oh wow. The glassy potato starch noodles, cellophane noodles, right there with the chicken. Now it's my favorite part of the recipe. It's time to eat it. Oh wow. Oh, delicious. Wow. I gotta say, I like that little trick to make the noodles crunchy by handing it to hot heat with that chicken fat. Time for a bite of the chicken. He looks perfect with Mr. Green Onion hanging on for the ride. Hello, surfboard. Perfectly cooked. Don't overcook your chicken. As you saw, that was the last 4 minutes of cooking time. Do it like that. It's moist and delicious. It's delicious. And now for a bite of perfectly cooked shiitake mushroom. Oh, they're not too chewy. They are perfectly rehydrated with that water. So click the link below and get your Would You Cook Japchae kit because it's fantastic. I'm Rebecca Brown. Ring the bell to get notified of my next video. Subscribe to my channel, make a comment, and let's keep making great recipes together. Like Would You Cook Japchae? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go in my little mousy corner and eat my lunch. See you next time. And nobody said they're not messy. If you like this recipe, I've got some other ones right over here in that same feel of fun and delicious.